Ifeoma, and I'm here today to share a little bit about myself, about my journey on how I became a fat nurse. So, before I get started, let me just introduce myself. My name is Ifeoma Chukwurah, and I'm a registered nurse based out in California. And I am also a nurse, burnout recovery coach, or therapist, and also help nurses transition out of working at bedside to working for themselves. But one of the reasons why I love being a nurse, entrepreneur, or a nurse burnout recovery therapist, I realized that for me, as you can see, I'm a little bit pleasantly plump, or what we in society can call overweight, obese, fat, whatever it is. And I just want to have a heart to heart with you. I just realized we have a tendency in our society to not really talk about like the inner struggles that we all go through. We only talk about like the triumphs of having a business and having a great career, but a lot of the obstacles that I get from potential clients who reach out to me on YouTube saying they want to become an entrepreneur or they want to talk to me for whatever reason, one of the things that holds them back is, not having everything together. So as you can see, I'm pleasantly plump, I'm overweight, and it's managing my weight has been a struggle of mine off, not going to say all my life, but yeah, I would say all my life, but it became really more of an issue, I would say, the past 7 years. So I became a nurse in 2013, the registered nurse in 2013. Entered nursing school, I said 2011, 12-ish. From 2011 to 2012, I was in a nursing program, and I was like, I'm 5'9", so at the time I was like 180, and I would fluctuate to 180 to 170, and even then, as 5'9", it's not considered obese, but it's just like a little overweight, like 10 pounds overweight. Then once I graduated nursing school in December 2012, became a nurse in February 2013, I realized my weight would slowly increase. So, like from 2013 to 14, it was in the 190s. I never really got to 200. Anytime I would see 190, I would just, do what I need to do and it'll go back to 180, 190, whatever. However, once think 2015, then I got into 200s, and once I got into 200s, it would just go up from there, like 200, and it'll come down to 203, but I never got out the 200s. So from 2016 through 2000 to now, I've been in the 200s. And the reason why I share this is, if you really study history when it comes to being a healer, which is, what we are, nurses are, we're healers. And as an entrepreneur who makes money or living additional income, helping other nurses find out how they can use their passions and monetize that. And sometimes it's in a healing fashion, sometimes it's not. But when I'm providing counseling to my clients as a healer, I'm very highly sensitive and an empathic person. So in history, empaths were healers were known to be robust. Healers were known to be a little bit chunky because when you are healing a lot of people and you're highly sensitive, if you do not have great self-care boundaries or self-care tool sets, you can manifest or manufacture a superficial way to protect yourself from other people's healing issues by putting on weight. So the adipose tissue, the extra fat, is a superficial barrier to protect yourself from all the ups and downs of life, all the ups and downs from your clients and whatnot. Because if you're an empath, what happens is you actually feel what people are feeling on a deep level than most people can. You can empathize with people on a deep level. And so how to soothe ourselves, we eat. And I'm a foodie. And when I mean eat, I don't really eat like cheap food. Like I don't even go to cheap grocery stores. Like I'm a Whole Foods at, die hard, go to Whole Foods. Like I think every day I go to Whole Foods, and that's something I need to work on. But I go to Whole Foods every day. And when I do eat out, it's probably high end restaurants. I don't really eat out, but I mostly go to Whole Foods. And so, you being a healer, there's certain minerals and vitamins or hormones in your brain that might be low. And so what you do, you soothe yourself by eating foods. And there's a food table that I can like share later on, but it basically says I can tell like what's going on in your life by what type of foods you're craving. So if you're craving chocolate, if you're craving carbohydrates, there's a lot of insecurity about love and things like that. If you're craving like salty country foods, there's certain vitamins you're low on. So I believe I got into the 200s from 2016 to 2000 to now. It's because that's when I really started taking my business seriously, and I started taking a huge caseload of clients and talking with nurses about situations and going through something out my comfort zone, which was going from being a staff nurse to a travel nurse to a nurse entrepreneur. And I went through a lot of bumpy things. I lost my father last year, so I've had a lot of personal situations happen, and I use food to soothe myself. The reason why I'm sharing this with you, I don't have to share this heart to heart with you. There's a lot of people who pretend like everything's all gravy under the sun, but I just want to keep it real and be authentic. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you, even though I'm currently on the BI index, considered obese or whatever, I still am good enough to be a nurse entrepreneur. I'm still good enough to be a registered nurse because I care about people. In a perfect world, nurses would be a healthy weight. They wouldn't have diabetes. They wouldn't be smoking. They wouldn't be drinking too much. We would just be perfect role models for our patients. But we live in a society that doesn't give us what we need. Many nurses are very overworked. They're short staffed. They're doing 5 jobs or 5 people. They're underpaid. So we don't have the resources to do what we need to do to take care of ourselves. It's not an excuse to not take care of yourself, but it's an understanding why it's common that there's so many nurses that are overweight. There's so many nurses that you see that they can't even ambulate without it being altered. They're like wobbling from side to side. They have a bad ankle. They're saying their knees are bad. We live in a society that really doesn't take care of our healthcare providers. It's almost like they use you to you're no longer good enough, and then they discard you and find another new graduate just coming out of nursing school. And another reason why I'm sharing my weight loss story is because recently I made a commitment to live a more healthier lifestyle, and I made this commitment in the past, but consistency was another barrier that I need to work through, a challenge that I need to work through. And working in my current job, which is very high stress, I realized that I need to do something for myself. I need to make it a non-negotiable, a part-time job to do what I can to take care of myself. And that's what I'm doing. It's not easy. You know, I I attend Bikram yoga. I attend Bikram yoga at least 3 times a week. And so when I'm not working, I make no excuses and I go to Bikram yoga. And here's the thing, today I really didn't want to go to Bikram yoga. And if you don't know what Bikram yoga is a series of 26 yoga postures in a studio where the temperature is 105 degrees with humidity. And the goal is, with the added heat, it allows you to be more flexible to get deeper into the poses than you would if without the heat. So when you're overweight and you're in Bikram yoga and it feels like you're in a heater, a sauna, and so you have excess weight, so doing the poses, like especially they have three levels of poses. They have the standing poses, which is working on your balance, and so you're activating your legs and your ankles. So your feet is burning, your ankles are burning, your legs are burning, your arms are burning. Then the second phase of poses, you have your excuse your spine poses. Your spine poses, you're working on your lower back and, making sure, like, you're straightening your back. And I don't like those poses either. And then you finally have your floor poses. Your floor poses are poses where you're working on your spine, but you're doing it at a deep level. So the poses that I hate the most are the standing poses, because when you're overweight and you're relying on one leg at a time to stretch, it's like you're burning your ankles. And as I noticed, as I got into the 200s, I noticed that I would have edema around my ankles. Actually, when I was like 180, I realized I had edema around my ankles. And I come from a family history where there's like cardiovascular disease, like high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, and all that things. So I always thought, oh, it's just water. I wait, I'm dehydrated. I'm in nursing school in Arizona. It's just hot. But now, as I'm in my 200s, I always check my ankles in the morning. And once I've done the Bikram yoga, even at my size, I don't really see the swelling as much as it used to. I still have the swelling. I'm looking at my ankles right now. I still have the swelling. That's 3 times a week. That's 4.5 classes, right? So I'm working 4.5 hours a week, workout. And then when I'm really feeling, I try to go to the gym for like 30 minutes to do cardio. So my goal now is to do Bikram yoga when I'm working, and then on my days, no, when I'm not working, and then to do 30 minutes of cardio at the gym when I am working. So I'm doing exercise every day, because if I can watch TV, if I can go on the internet, if I can YouTube things, I can exercise. It's just a choice. At the end of the day, we all have 24 hours, and how we spend is based on where our priorities are. And I share this with you because I completed my first day of this weight loss detox challenge that I'm doing. The first day, it was to complete is to do 24 hours of water fast. I've done water fast before. One day I do want to do like a 21 or 10 day or 7 day water fast. But so far I've gotten past like, I did 24 hours, and I had my first something of vegetables around the afternoon today. So it's like, I would say maybe 36 hours of water, just water. And then I went to Bikram. So I went to Bikram yesterday just on water, and I went to Bikram this morning not eat anything at all, because I didn't eat until this afternoon. I only had like vegetables and some pistachio nuts. And so I'm doing this detox challenge where it's supposed to reset your insulin level, where your body's more sensitive to insulin, and to remove processed food. And so by the end of the 22 days, my body will be completely like reset. And so it's in phases. You do the water fast to reset, your body, and then you eat vegetables and protein, and then you add healthy carbohydrates at the end. And then at the end, you're all brand new, and you've rechanged your body to naturally desire what it wants, which is like healthy unprocessed food. So I'm at a point now where I know, and see it being as a nurse, I know that a lot of health issues is based off lifestyle, diets, right? So my goal is to complete this 22-day challenge. I already completed day one. Two is almost over, which is today, and so tomorrow I'll be in day three, and that's when I'll be able to eat vegetables with protein. So I'm really excited. I apologize for the yawning. It's a little bit late at night, but I just wanted to start the journey so you can see the transformation over time. And it's also added accountability for me, because it's real easy to be like, oh, I'm going to do this challenge, and tomorrow I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling it. So by recording this and, bring you on in my journey, my goal is to get back to a healthier weight. I would like to get out the 200s by, since I'm a therapist and I'm always good about doing goals with my clients, I would say, so I weigh right now, at the start I was 226. Today I weigh 224.6. Now actually, my real starting weight is 230, but I will be going back and going up and down for like the past 3 weeks. So right now my weight is 224.6 or something like that. I need to check my fitness app where I record the weight. And I would like, what I'm shooting for is to get down to get out of the 200. So to get down to 199 by July 31st. So by July 31st, I would like to be 199. So I will no longer be in the 200. So that's 27 pounds, right? So I have 27 pounds to lose for the remaining of this month. And so with that, I would have to break that up, what that is, per week and what that is per day. And so for me to lose 27 pounds with remaining, like, I think, what is it, 2 more weeks left of this month, July, that's like 14 days, I'm assuming, 14 days or so, or less. I don't know. I have to check the calendar. 14 days. And, that means I have to exercise every day. And that means I might have to exercise twice a day on the days that I'm not working. So days that I am working, to be realistic, I can do like 30 minutes of exercise and then do my Bikram yoga and then do my cardio later in the day or all together to get it over with. And the reason why I want to exercise every day is not just for losing weight, is because the type of job that I'm doing, I'm a emergency room case manager, so I sit and I walk. So I'm on my feet a lot, and I'm also in a sedentary, like, where the chairs aren't the best. So I just want to exercise every day, not just for weight loss, but to get my circulation and to get my heart pumping harder. Because with the excess weight that I have, I am putting more stress on my body that doesn't need. So by at least doing exercise, I'm pumping my heart a little. I'm helping it to pump, and then also it's going to help my metabolism and my peristalsis, help my digestive system and everything. So the food that I do consume, it has, it's gonna work. It's gonna work that out. So those are my goals. So I shared with you my goals is to be out of the 200s by the end of this month, which I feel is a very realistic goal if I'm, really serious, and I am. And because I still have, well, we're starting a new week. Monday is tomorrow. And so out of the 200s, be 199. So my birthday's next month is in August. So my goal would be to be like, by August 31st, I would like to be um, 190s. I would like to be like 169. I want to be 169 by my birthday. My happy weight, that's like, up in air. Like, it's like 145 to 150. That's a weight where I feel like I felt my most confident, because like I was I was thin, but I still had shape. If I get down less than 145, you start seeing like my ribs and stuff. And to me, I'm not one of those people who like looking like sickly, and because of my bone frame too. I have a medium to large bone frame, so I might be 150 and I'll look like I'm 120 because my bones are bigger. And I know everyone's like I'm big bone, but I'm actually have a large bone frame. And though I was 145 to 150 in 2000, I would say 2004 or so, 2004, and I looked a little bit sickly. It didn't look the best. I don't know if I look sickly or because I'm not used to seeing myself that thin. I don't know, but everyone was like, "Oh, you looked a little sickly because you're too skinny, blah blah blah." But skinny, sickly is a personal choice. I'll figure that out when I get there. But the first point is to get out the 200s. So that's my story on being a fat nurse. How I became a fat nurse was when I really started. I entered nursing, and then I got really fat when I got into my nurse entrepreneur business, the managing the stress and the responsibilities of owning a business. I guess my nutrition and my weight management fell at the wayside. So now I'm taking more accountability in doing that and being very transparent with my journey by recording this on this platform such as YouTube. And I also am sharing this so if you feel like you need to be a perfect size zero for whatever reason, that you do not allow that to hold you back from do whatever you want to do, if that's starting a business, if that's traveling, if that's whatever your goals are. I feel what makes us human is when we have our insecurities and we still proceed to do what we desire. And I desire to do a lot of things, and I have insecurities in a lot of things, and I feel the best way to help you feel supported is to share some of those things, that I'm dealing with and how I'm navigating it. So you can see it's realistic. You can do it. So if you have any questions regarding my weight loss journey, or regarding starting a business as a nurse, and you want to start a nurse-owned business, you can just click the description of this video. It shares my contact information, how you can contact me. And you can also comment and say replay, which allows me to know that you're watching the replay, and post any of your comments or what type of videos you'd like for me to share my channel. And then lastly, I would love for you to click like to this video, and subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon, which notifies you whenever I come live, or whenever my video posts, so you can at least be notified every time I release a video. So subscribe, like the video, and click the bell icon. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.